Hi there. In this screencast, I'll show you how to complete assignment 1. It's not so clear as far as the instructions are given in the readings and whatnot, how you do that. So I'll quickly create this resume as is mentioned for the assignment. And I expect that you do the same thing and then upload a zip file, which I'll show you how to do. So if I look in websites 2 here, again, this is the folder I created in one of the previous screencasts. I've put my index.html, images, and CSS with the screen.css inside of a folder called Lantern to keep everything distinct. I've taken the project resume zip archive that I downloaded and unpacked, and I've renamed it to be all lowercase, project resume with an underscore between the two words. So I can safely share this to the web without any alterations to that file, that folder name I should say. So now when I go inside of this folder, you see we have a bunch of documents. This Athena resume rev is the document that we'll be referring to create the index.html file inside of project resume. So let me just quickly create that file. So I'm just going to right click, choose new, text document, and I'll call this index.html, and I'll get rid of that .txt. Now some of you may not even see that .txt, but we do need to be able to see that in order to change the extension. If you can't see that .txt, when you add the .html, it'll be index.html.txt, and it won't be an HTML document, it'll still be a text file. So when I press enter, if you don't get that alert, then you have to do a little bit more work. Let me just quickly show you where I went in my operating system. It'll be easy to find in other operating systems. If I go to Tools, Folder Options, this will be available in the File Manager ribbon in Windows 8, Windows 10. And then if I go to View, this Hide Extensions for Known File types, notice that that's unchecked. By default, it's checked, and those extensions are hidden, but we need to unhide them in order to edit them. So I'll choose OK, and that's why I've been able to make this into a .html document, not a .html.txt, which would still maintain that document. So now I've got this this revision here. I want to create an index. I want to take all of the text from this, put it into the index.html, and format it in the same manner that it's formatted inside of the docx, but with HTML. So that's the goal of the exercise. Let me just quickly open in Word. So here's the resume. So we've got a heading. I'm going to call that a level 2 heading. I'm going to put a level 1 heading that says Athena resume. This will be a level 2. We've got a paragraph, another level 2 heading. We've got 4 lines in a paragraph. The lines are separated with carriage returns. What that means is that these lines are still part of one paragraph, but we've added manual line breaks. That's what the BR tag, you probably see that in the readings. Then we've got an unordered list here. You've got another paragraph with breaks at the end of each line, so 1, 2 breaks. Another unordered list. Another paragraph, same, another unordered list, so pretty much the same, a little bit of repetition there. I want to make this a heading 2 as well. It's a little bigger, and then I'll make these heading 3s. Heading 3, paragraph, heading 3, paragraph, heading 3, paragraph. These will be in italics, which is known as emphasis. I'm not going to use the strong tag, but if you didn't make these headings, but it's most correct to make these headings, I would make them bold with a strong tag, STR. So let me just show you what I mean by all of this. So those of you who do not have Word and you need to be able to see this formatting and copy and paste the text, you can also open this document in Google Docs. It requires you to open Google Docs and then upload, and then you'll be able to see the formatting. So let me just quickly show you how to do that. So I've got Google Docs here. As long as you have a Gmail account and you go to docs.google.com, you'll have access to Google Docs. And now if I click on my little open file picker and I upload, and I can just drag directly from my file browser. So let me just go back to my websites here. Websites 2 is what I'm using. I'm just navigating. I'm not going to bring that into the window because I need to see the edge of it there. There we are. Athena resume rev.docx. I can just drag that right on top. And once it's uploaded, you can see the formatting and copy and paste it from here. Again, that's for those of you who do not have Word. You don't need to get a copy of Word. You can open Word documents in Google Docs, and you have all of the common formatting and whatnot there. So that's why I showed you that. All right, so I've got it in Word here. I'm just going to copy and paste it into that HTML file, index.html, and then I'm going to add all of my tags to make it look just like this. So I'll copy that. Sorry, I'll go the long way here. Copy. I can minimize this. Open up my file browser again. There's my index.html. Now I want to edit this with brackets. So if I right click on it, notice I have an open with brackets. That's the easiest way to edit an HTML document. If you double click on it, it'll just open in your browser. If you want to edit it, you have to right click and open with brackets, or you could just, if you have brackets open, you could drag it on top of brackets, or within brackets you can go File, Open, Navigate here. But since I'm already in my file browser, this is a quick way to do it. Alright, so now we've got a bunch of files I've been working with. Let me just get this smaller so you can see everything here. And the way it opens right now is the last view I was using, so I get to show you a couple things with that, which is useful as well. There we go, just making it fit. Okay, so index project resume. Notice I have a blank document here. This is something that's left over. I'm just going to close all of this other stuff so we don't need to see any of that. And this one I'm going to put in my left screen. Close screen. There we go. And now I don't want to see a split screen anymore. So if I go view, no split, I've got one big screen. So brackets has a list of all of my working files plus the menu list. Now I'm just going to quickly paste all of that content that I just copied into this blank document and then add all of the tags I need. So I'll go edit and paste, and there we go. So let's take a look at what this looks like. If I just click on this little lightning bolt here, it'll allow me to preview this thing. So let me just drag that window in so you can see what it looks like. Doesn't look like much, right? We know we had a bunch of text in there. We just pasted it in here. Now I haven't saved it yet, so make sure you always save. Let's see if that changes anything. File, save. Oh, there we go. So if you look at the document here, it looks like we have line breaks. It looks like we have a bunch of bullets. So it looks like it should be organized at least into paragraphs from what we see here. But when we look at it in a browser, there's no line breaks. So basically we have to format all of this with HTML. So let me just quickly do that. So first of all, I'm going to give myself a couple of lines. So first of all, we need the HTML tag, right? I'll put this one at the end. I'll cut that A quick way to go to the end of the document, by the way, is Control and in Windows. I think it's Command and in Mac. Now I also need a head. So head, we put a bunch of stuff that actually doesn't show up in the body of the document, one of which is the title. The title shows up in the title bar or the tab of the document. So I'm going to call this Athena's resume. And then I'm just going to throw a body around that stuff. So that's the first tags that we need. And I'm just going to, let me just go the long way, edit cut. And I'll put that just below the closing HTML. So that's known as nesting. HTML document, the body is nested inside the HTML document. All right, so first of all, I'm going to add another. This is something that I teach in the optimizing for search engines, SEO. I was going to say CEO. I always like to put an H1, which is the highest level heading, basically the title of the document, to match the title of the document. So I'll say it exactly. So this appears up in the tab of the document. This appears in the actual body. Now this is going to be an H2. This is a second level of heading. It's not an H2 because it's a second heading on the page. It's an H2 because it's the second level of heading. So this is a heading. This is a subheading. Now this is a paragraph. Paragraph is very simple. Just the P tag with a greater than, less than. I always get those backwards when I mention them in my notes, by the way. I'm a little bit dyslexic. Greater than, less than, right? So you can think of this little thing as a light switch. You know, like a big handle that you throw to turn something off. This starts the paragraph. Basically, it turns the paragraph on. This turns the paragraph off. This turns the heading on. This turns the heading off. So every tag needs a close tag, and there are standalone tags. We have to close those tags within the tags. So this is an H2 as well. It's not an H3 because it's the third heading on the page. It's an H2 because it's still the same level as profile. I'll cut that and paste that. And then we have a paragraph here. And remember what I said, this paragraph is this entire thing, right? I'm going to use Control V now, just to be a little quicker here. Now there's a break here. So this is one of those standalone tags. Notice you express it that way. So break doesn't wrap around any text. It doesn't wrap around any basically document element. It's a standalone tag, so we close it within its own tag. You'll see we do that same thing with images as well. And I'm just going to copy and paste that. Control C is what I'm doing, just so I can be a little quicker. And just those two, I believe. I said 3 before, but 2. Now we need to remove these dots. We're going to put this in an unordered list, which will put those dots back. So we have to wrap this entire thing in an unordered list and then make each one of these paragraphs within the unordered list list items. So unordered list is UL for unordered list. And then LI is for list item. I'm just going to right click from now on. I believe that's Control click for Mac. Now I'm just going to copy this at the end of each line. I just needed to check what was an actual. I think each list item is capitalized. There we go. And then I'm just going to close each one as well. I'm using Control X and Control V. Again, I want to be obvious, but I also want to be fairly quick with this so you get a little bit more. Now, notice we have an and there and it's red. So if I choose Quick Edit here, basically we need an escape character for this. This will probably display just fine, but I'll put an escape character. There's one in the notes. I can't remember what it is offhand. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing for the next 2 paragraphs and unordered lists. So I'm just going to pause, quickly take care of those, and then I'll take care of one of these lines, and you should have a good idea of what to do once you see the finished product. Alright, so I've got those 3 blocks taken care of. Notice I put in and pound 37 semicolon, so that's the escape character for the ampersand, the and symbol. Now let's quickly take care of this last little piece here. So again, I believe that should be an H2, second level heading. We only have 2 levels in this document. H1 for the title of the document, the title within the body, that is, not the title within the head. And now, this one here, actually I'm going to handle this slightly different than what I mentioned. I'm just going to make that strong. So it doesn't really need to be a heading because there's only one piece of text after it. Now I'm cutting and pasting. Again, Control X and Control V. I advocate that you don't copy and paste too much code as you're learning to code. You'll learn more if you type it out longhand. And I'll make that one strong as well. Sorry, at the end. And that one as well. And this is quite an impressive resume from what I am reading. And now these are actually, it's more correct to make those paragraphs. They'll look just fine, but you do want to apply proper structure to your document. So those, even though it's just 2 words or 3 words, it actually is a paragraph. Not a paragraph in the English language strength, sense I should say, but in the structural sense. So I'm just copying and pasting. Again, in real life, make sure you type anything out. Brackets closes your tags for you, so you don't actually have to copy and paste. So that should be the entire document. So that's basically what we want for your exercise 1. Now let's quickly take a look at this in the browser and see if there's anything that's reared its head. So I'll quickly go File, Save, and then I'll click on my little lightning bolt. And it looks pretty darn good. Yep. Oh, education % certificates. Oh, I used, instead of using, looking for the escape code for ampersand, I use %. Ampersand is actually 38. So that's why I got a % in there. So I'm just going to go and change that. So I get a ampersand, not a %. So File, Save, Refresh. And now when I refresh, I get the and symbol. Now why is that not strong? Oh, it's supposed to actually be strong, not str. That means string. So my mistake. I've been coding HTML since HTML has existed, by the way, but I still forget stuff like that. And apparently, a big part of learning is forgetting and relearning. So hopefully I'll never ever make that mistake again now that I've relearned it. So let's file save and refresh. File save, refresh, and it looks pretty much like the example, except for the font face is different, but we'll handle that with the CSS in the next lesson. So again, that's basically what we want from you for your first exercise. If you have any issues with that, hit me up. Oh, let me just quickly show you how you make a zip file out of that folder so that you can upload it. So I'm just going to quickly, actually I'm not going to upload it to the discussions, because then you could just download it, change the name, and submit that, and I want you to actually do the work. But let me just quickly show you how you zip it. So I'm done with this for now. I can minimize this. I can double click, make sure I save that, and I'll go to my project resume. So if I click on websites 2 here, there's project resume. Let's take a look at that in a list. There we go, so we can see the entire name on one line. Now if I right click on that and choose send to, and then I'm choosing compressed zipped folder, and I'll just call that lander, and then I can go ahead and upload that to the submission discussion via the upload button. So I expect that you do all of that. Again, change all of the HTML, and then zip up your folder. You can actually just upload the index.html file. That'll work just fine. It contains everything I need. But I want to see the structure of your directory as well, just in case there's any issues with that, so we can nip that in the bud. So going forward, everything will be in good shape. All right, so thanks so much for watching. Again, that's taking care of assignment 1 and zipping it up, and then again you're going to upload that on your own. Make sure you hit me up with any questions via the discussion if there any arise. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon. Again, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.